Hi, my name's Toni. I've been raw vegan for almost 4 years now and high raw for many, many years. Vegan, 13 years. I'm 38 and many people say I look a lot younger. I feel much more agile, healthier, just way better than I've ever felt in my entire life. And I owe it all down to the raw foods, because when you start to see in nature that what animals that thrive eat whole, undenatured foods. But if we look in society now, we are a nation of addicts. I've never seen anywhere as much as this day, seeing so much addictions. For me, that's come from a background of severe food addiction, binge eating, comfort eating. I really struggled with letting go of junk, any form of cooked food. Now, I know you may feel that that's extreme, and I used to feel the same until you cut it out of your diet. Watch how addicted, watch how you respond to letting go of these foods. And we consume these highly addictive foods not just 3, but 4, 5, even 6 times per day. It's not even alcohol or the other drugs. It's this food that's readily available to us. And many think is seemingly innocent. But when we start to see the destruction of these cooked foods in society, people's health, they're sick, they're obese. Now, I know a lot of us want to eat the optimal diet or eat healthier, but we have resistance because we are so addicted to these foods and they intentionally keep you trapped. We are addicted to the sugar, the fats, the chemicals, the oils. So the number one reason is why we're so addicted is because of all the chemicals and additives that are in these foods. Even your meats, your dairy, your eggs, they're pumped full of hormones. Just look at milk. They have got casomorphines, opioids, drug enhancers in them that they can term as natural because they are for the cow to produce for the calf to make sure she or he survives when drinking that milk. And we're drinking something that is not even supposed to be for us. It's for that species-specific animal. These casomorphines in dairy, in your cheese, in all your chocolate, is the reason why you keep it addicted. And they have so many enhancers to continue keeping you trapped. And you feel like you've got no control, and no wonder why we don't have control. Eating these foods have serious consequences to our, not just physiological, but our psychological, our emotional, spiritual needs. We have totally lost that connection of when we are truly full or when we are even hungry. Did you know even cooking cheeses creates ammonia? This is a chemical that is highly toxic to the cells, to the body. Starches can produce amylase, which are the toxic byproducts when cooking. It changes the chemical makeup. Whenever you heat something, you destroy the enzyme, the whole chemical structure has changed and your body treats it like it's a foreign entity. And this is why the white blood cell count increases to fight off these toxins. Heating destroys its nutritional value. Why would you want to choose something that does that? And I know we know all this information at times, but we still continue to eat them. I was one of those. I maybe was aware of it, but didn't know the true extent to how much it destroys the food. But the molecular structure degrades and new chemical configurations are formed along with the carcinogenic products. They destroy essential vitamins such as B and C, because they are water soluble. Did you know over 90% of Americans are vitamin C deficient? Vitamin C is a significant factor in the development of lung diseases and asthma, which in turn affects our intake of vitamins as well as affecting our digestion. Disease comes from poor digestion, not able to eliminate. And what these cooked foods do is blockers. They don't easily digest compared to raw foods, which are compatible to our cells in our body. Now, I know what cooking does is it enhances the flavors, palatability. I understand, but what it comes at is a cost, a consequence. You end up having these heightened senses, these stimulations, these dopamine highs, because you become fixated on these foods. And this is where I'll talk about the psyche part of it. But they're keeping you hooked. They're keeping you locked in. You never truly feel satisfied because of these constant high and lows. Sadly, we'll never get away with these pumping chemicals and additives in these foods because they want to keep you addicted. They want to keep you buying these products. I don't know if you're aware of the Maillard reaction, but it's a chemical reaction when things are heated to high temperatures. They actually create complex flavors which your body cannot recognize. This is why you keep on being hooked and why you're constantly fixated on these foods, these addictions. All of the additives and the flavor enhancers are all there purely to keep you hooked. They're to keep them desirable, to keep you going back like a drug addict. Cooked oils are one of the worst, which causes an inflammatory response in the body when consumed. Advanced glycation end products like AGEs, that it stands for, which increase the inflammation response in the body. And eating these will forever continue to produce inflammation. If you've got aches and pains, joint pain, these are going to be heightened and they never go away until we reduce the inflammation in the body, getting away from these highly toxic inflammatory responses. The reason why cooked food is so tricky and challenging to digest is because the heating process strips all the vitamins and minerals that your body needs to thrive. You may feel at first that raw foods might be tricky to digest and are not as comfortable or what you're used to. But in time, once you've changed the microbiome in your stomach, your body starts to get back to alignment. And this is a process that can happen either with a juice cleanse very quickly or incorporate more and more raw foods in your diet. I do have protocols in my Rawlicious app. Check that out if you want support on healing your gut, healing the digestive system, and going towards a healthier raw vegan diet. Because the second challenge that we've got is the psyche, the psychological aspect of what these foods do to us. As we know, there's chemicals that keep us hooked, but we've got the digestive enzymes that are working super hard to digest the food, that just constantly have to work hard to. That's why it takes so much energy from the body, why you're always tired. If you have fast digesting foods, what your cells are built to eat, to consume, is the raw living foods. You're going to have much more energy. But let's touch on the psychological aspects, the brain and body connection. We are using food as a reward system. Just look in society. When you were younger, if you were sick or you didn't feel so good or you was upset, you'd broken up with your boyfriend, your family, your friends, or automatically in society, you would comfort eat. You would eat the heavier foods, the fats and the sugar together. And it was a way of us to then soothe, but actually it was suppressing. It was actually numbing us and destroying our health and creating these connections to these foods that are soothing, that are actually leaving us in the moment feeling soothed and satisfied and maybe numb an escape. But actually the consequences of them in the long run keep us hooked, keep us addicted, keep us sick, gain weight. We can never seem to have control. And that's the worst feeling for most of us, having no control, letting food own us. Like for me, that was the biggest thing. I was sick and tired of using food to suppress and numb my feelings, or to keep me feeling safe, or feeling that I was good or happy for that temporarily moment. But it was fleeting, and it often always would leave me feeling miserable, not capable of stopping eating that way. But like I shared, they are intentional to keep you hooked and fixated. They start to rewire the brain. Those neurotransmitters get changed when we're associating these foods with happiness, with soothing abilities. We are letting go of our power. We are keeping addicted, just like a drug addict, just like an alcoholic. Food is often used as a reward, way too often. A way of celebration, a way of how we connect. Even good behavior as being linked to giving food, candy and sweets. Most of society live to eat. Just look at the social events, the celebrations, when we break up with someone. Our lives are centered around the consumption of food. Like the alcoholics, what they provide is Alcoholic Anonymous. I feel now more than ever we need more support on these food addictions. They are real. And some people will just continue to suppress or think it's too extreme because it's everywhere in society. It's acceptable. It's encouraged. But it's keeping us addicted. It's keeping us at the lowest frequency. Yes, you're going to get that increase of dopamine when you eat that ice cream. But that copy amounts of sugar that's running through our veins end up creating this vessel that's addicted, that is sick, that is overweight. Why we continue to get the highs and the lows with the headaches, the imbalances, the hormonal imbalances. Now I would often turn to the sweets, I'd have both experiences. I would have the sugar, the fruit and nut bars of chocolate with the fats and the sugar, and I would eat those in high quantities. And then I would go to the pizzas and the fries and the breads, and I would consistently be doing this on a regular basis and would feel numb at first, but then I would crash, and then I would be more hungry, and you'd be constantly on this cycle. And every time you try to restrict or eat healthy, you had no control. And that is what I did not enjoy. I didn't like the highs and the lows that I was experiencing, the feelings of inadequacy because I couldn't keep to eat the diet that I chose to go on. So what I would suggest to you is either do this juice cleanse, depending on where you are in your journey. That's why I'd highly recommend reaching out to me, someone who's gone through all this at a deep level, at a really difficult time and period, dark periods where I just felt like, what is the point? Why am I so addicted? Why am I so hooked on these foods? It was destroying my life. I look back now and how much time I wasted on trying to eat well. Then I'd binge and overtrain. Then I would restrict my calories. It was not a pleasant way to live. And you don't have to go through that. Raw foods will heal the body. Raw foods will re-center you, will put you back into your alignment. They flood our body with nutrients and enzymes that nourish the body at a deep cellular level. You can transition. You can do this slowly. There's so many replaceables now. Look at when you went from non-vegan to vegan now. Alternatives, healthier alternatives. And now we're realizing a lot of them aren't so healthy. Again, it's another way of them putting extra chemicals in, which is just never food anymore. Now it's about taking your power back and eating the foods, the light codes, the healthier, undenatured foods that will keep you on your path of health and vitality, that will flood the body, the blood, with these enzymes, vitamins, and minerals. You can break free of these addictions. And what happens when you break free of this? You start to break free of all other addictions that you've been habitually doing, like the codependencies and the other addictions that we start to clarify these are not serving us. My Rawlicious app and my coaching offerings are designed to help you in your journey to discover who you really are and what your body, what your self is capable of. Doesn't have to be a struggle. We work through the blocks, we work through the pain, the traumas, the addictions, and we start to release them and empower ourselves to show that you can be and feel and do whatever you want to do and feel good within your vessel. Able to just go to the beach and be totally confident without hiding and covering ourselves up. The amount of times I'd cover my lower body because I didn't want anyone else to see, and not go in the sea or the pool because I was embarrassed. That doesn't have to be you. You can change that. You can feel divine in your body. You can feel healthy and energized. In my Rawlicious app, I have recipes, workouts, meditations. I have protocols, tools that would help you, assist you in your journey. If you want more information on that, check out my website, rawliciousyou.com. I have a free ebook. I have my app that can support you on your journey. Let's break the connection between eating and emotions. Be, feel, and stay Rawlicious.